The telephone rings. A person who sounds mentally challenged is on the other end. Before you know it, you're buying what he's selling.
It makes you feel good to help. But now, listen to this. It was all made up just to get your money. The News 15 investigators went undercover to get to the bottom of it. News 15's Chris Heinbaugh shows you what was really happening on the other end of the phone.
Hi, is the owner of the business in, please?
He stammered and stuttered. He would try to say a word, and then he would back up.
For someone to pretend that they have a disability when in fact they don't is, that's stooping pretty low.
The job's just too darn easy.
His name is Michael Curtis, the man in charge at Challenged Workers of America. Not a charity, a business. Telemarketing.
Hello, is the owner of the business in, please?
He's breaking in a new group of workers. Among them, a News 15 producer working undercover. She's wearing a hidden camera.
By purchasing...
The callers work from a script.
Read it word for word, slowly.
Curtis says the profits go to employ challenged workers. The products, pens, garbage bags, first aid kits, and greeting cards.
You're not a salesman, you're their friend.
The customers come out of the phone book. It doesn't matter which half. They only call businesses. The goal? Get the owners on the phone.
Hello, is the owner of the business in, please? No, he isn't. Okay, thank you. Next number.
Once they get an owner, turn the call over to a closer, an experienced supervisor who overcomes objections and closes the sale.
We have a sample box that's the smallest amount we can send out.
Yeah, this is radical for telemarketing.
Well, not really, and it's not illegal. But the way they're doing it may be. It's all in the delivery.
If in fact they aren't challenged and they can speak normally and they are purposely changing their speech, there is some sort of misrepresentation or there is deception there.
This is Darren, one of the top salesmen. So good, he sometimes handles the closing.
I told her I tried to help her out in any way I can. She said, you had a question?
But when he's working the phones, he has a very different voice. Listen.
Okay. I didn't know that you were the owner. Okay. Hi, my name is Darren, and I'm calling from Challenged Workers of America.
His brother Brian tells us Darren does have a slight speech impediment, but nothing like his phone voice.
Oh, he's not retarded. Oh.
Sounds like that.
Oh. Well, I thought that's your brother. He's not really like that. Oh.
Brian has a telephone voice too. Listen carefully.
To join the mainstream work force, but by hiring them and assemble office supply products.
This approach seems to work, and profits can be huge. Here's how. Challenged Workers of America gets $189 for 516 garbage bags. At Sam's Club, 500 of the same size, half the price. And the first aid kits. CWA charges $99 for 2. A pair of similar kits at Ace Hardware, $28. Since prices are high, workers say sympathy sells.
Slow it down way a lot. Like, sound like you are reading, like you are challenged.
Yeah, make it sound like you're
play off their emotions.
Company officials insist talking slowly is a sales technique, not meant to mislead. Tell that to Don Kimbrell at Sun Valley Battery. Last week, he ordered $80 worth of products from Challenged Workers of America because he thought the caller was handicapped.
That's the reason I had agreed to buy their product, and that's the only reason.
These are real challenged workers. They work for the nonprofit Association for Retarded Citizens. Officials worry questionable telemarketing will hurt these workers by scaring off supporters.
We get a black eye from those type of things, and they lump us all together and think, well, if this group is misrepresenting, maybe they all are. Maybe I shouldn't give to that type of an organization, period.
Michael Curtis never personally tells his workers to act challenged, but he can't ignore the fact they're doing it. He's always nearby to handle closings, and you can't miss Darren's loud sales pitch in the background.
Asking you to keep our workers busy. Bye-bye. Thank you for your time and have a great day.
We asked Darren about this. He says it's all about dollars.
You use two very distinctly different voices. You've got your own voice, and then you use a very different voice on the telephone. Can you tell me about that?
Making money.
It's making money.
Mm-hmm.
Does that, using that different voice, does that help you make more money?
I have no comment.
Well, don't you think, though, it's a little misleading for customers sometimes on the other end of the phone? I mean, they think that you might be mentally retarded or challenged.
Operations like this are not new. Last year, a Houston TV station uncovered a similar operation there, with a similar script and callers pretending to be retarded. And look who they found closing the sales. That's right, Michael Curtis.
Michael Curtis? I'm Chris Heinbaugh. I'm with News 15, and I wanted to talk to you about your enterprise, Challenged Workers of America.
I surely don't have any comment.
Can you tell me why your workers use two different voices when they're calling people?
My God, I can't believe it.
You've got folks in there who are sounding like they're kind of handicapped, but then they talk to us, and they're not handicapped at all. Sir, would you please just take a moment to talk with us?
Later, the woman with Curtis told us their business is legitimate, and they didn't know workers were pretending to be retarded. We found some workers made little effort to hide what they were doing. And whether this was right or wrong, hardly anyone seemed to care.
You're going to get arrested for fraudulent or impersonating someone.
No.
Now, not everyone there pretended to be challenged. Some people used their real voices. As for our producer, we didn't want her to deceive anyone on the other end of the phone, so she simply pretended to make all of her phone calls. Now, this morning, we went back to Challenged Workers of America. The offices were empty. They reportedly packed up and left last night.
The News 15 investigators recently